What you have?
Twist Productions.
All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth.
All praise to the Most High for this truth. Yes, I put the work in, but it's more to do. Gotta keep them laws, yes, we warning you. I was feeling great when I found out we the Jews. Yeah, we the chosen ones, you know the scripts is a loaded gun. All praise to the Father, I know that he got us, he's gracious, I know he's the only one. My spirit on defense in order to reach and remember that we gotta know the Son. Mashiach, Yahweh, gotta come back to the laws and commandments before it's too late and we at the top. No man knows the hour, but we gotta know Yahweh. Keep the fruits of the spirit, we gon' grow like a flower. We down bad in this world, gotta keep the faith, we gon' get the power. The mother nations gon' be scared, I cannot wait till they get devoured.
All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth.
Yeah.
He deserves all the praise, he deserves all the praise. Kingdom stay on my mind, yes, I'm waiting for the day. It's Most High willing, gotta give him thanks cause he chose my image. I need to put the work in, I'm not perfect, so I gotta stay up when I know I'm slipping. I'm repenting on a daily basis, leave my sins behind, I can't leave a trace. All my people steady filled with hatred, time to come together, let us build a nation. We need each other in the fight, these commandments give us life. Can't be low in the spirit, gotta switch it up, get it right. Yeah,
break it down.
I did not choose this life cause he chose me. I can never go back to the old me. I was on my side, I'm never lonely. So we gotta be holy. All praise to the Most High for this truth.
Honor your
All
name,
praise to the Most High for this truth.
honor your
All
name,
praise to the Most High for this truth.
honor your
All
name.
praise to the Most High for this truth.
Switch it up.
All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth. All praise to the Most High for this truth.
Never, never.
All praise to the Most High for this truth.
For the truth.
Yeah, that's
The Lord
prophecy,
shall
that's
bring thee
prophecy.
into Egypt again with ships.
Yeah, that's prophecy, that's prophecy.
Yeah. LOZ. We gotta bring it out. Wake up the lost sheep. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey. Yeah. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. LOZ, let's go. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. Hey. Yeah. Bring it out. LOZ. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves when we bring it out. We gotta wake up the sheep. Our people falling asleep. We gotta show now. We put in that work in and we put the work in the streets. We trying to build up the nation. We patient. My people been facing defeat. We teach of repentance, we deep in them trenches. You know that we bring in the heat. We battling demons like every day. Waking up all the people, we set them straight. Keep our head in them scriptures, we meditate. All in the truth, I can't back down and hesitate. All praise to the Most High. With it, no cosign. With it, keep the law, we gon' levitate. We them Jews, there be no lies. With it, there we won't doubt. With it, for the truth, I'm a heavyweight. We live in this spiritual warfare. Y'all gotta gather together. We do that, then we got them nations in more fear. We a separate nation, no explanation. My people, they need to listen. Crunch time, yeah, time is ticking. For the truth, I'm a servant. No stopping, we working. Just hoping my people gon' see the mission. So we gotta bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. LOZ, let's go. Bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. Hey, bring it out. We got the truth and we bring it out. We cannot lose when we bring it out. We making moves and we bring it out. LOZ, let's go. All praise to the Most High. Bring it out.
It's the LOD. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Am I clear here? Clear. I'm clear the headphones. All right. I'm live and direct. All right. Shalom, family. This is the Bring It Out radio show. I'm the Chief Minister, Sean Lamar. And it's welcome. Shalom to all the family out there. It's truly an honor and a blessing to have you all with us in the house. It is that time again. It's showtime. Right? It's that time again, family. You know, it's your crew. All right? The people you love to hang out with on a Tuesday night. The Bring It Out radio show. I didn't come here by myself. I have a crew with me. I have, you know, the assassin himself. I'm a one Bunaloya Bunya Sharala in the building, right?
Boom, boom, boom.
And I also have, right, the champ is here.
You know,
Crucial's in the building.
it's crucial.
All right. Number one engineer, and engineer extraordinaire. Captain Call is at the controls. All
Yes,
right.
sir.
And this is the Bring It Out radio show. All right. Well, we got some stuff to talk about today. All right, we got some stuff to talk about. We're gonna work it out. You know, we in a nation building time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, coming out of captivity. You know, it's difficult coming out of captivity, but the Most High gives us all the tools that we need, right, to know what we need to do to be prosperous. You know, and to rid ourselves of this rat race of a life that Esau had us living out here in America, right? Or if you're in England or you're in Africa or Asia, wherever you're living,
Yeah.
you know, our people are living, you know, for the most part, the second-class citizens of the world, right?
Yeah, he saw that and colonized the whole world,
Mhm.
man. There's nowhere in the world you can go without having to make these payments and having bills, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For real. But, you know, the Most High, he told us, even in this captivity, we don't have to multiply sorrows on ourselves.
Right.
We don't have to make this place harder than it already is. You know, there's ways of increasing, you know what I mean, our abilities, allowing our intentions to, you know, have the backing and the finance to come to fruition. Because, you know, I had a lot of brothers and sisters, man, and they have a lot of dreams when it comes to Israel. I remember some brothers out in Tennessee, they wanted to get a whole couple acres, and they said they was going to build houses for all Israel,
Mm-hmm.
right? Create a new Jeshurun. I ain't going to say, right? Like a annex to the Jeshurun or something. You know, these ideas be out there, but what happens a lot of times with our ideas, they fizzle out because they don't have the financial backing.
Right.
As part of the reason why is we hate this kingdom so much, we forget that the Most High told us we got to use this world. You know, he told us that in the scriptures, not to abuse this world, but to use this world. There's things for our use in this world, just like it was for our forefathers. You know, in the time of Joseph, in the time of Abraham, in the time of you know, even Jacob before the famine hit, he was sitting pretty, right? Even you know, a lot of the time of Daniel, he had a prominent position in that time as well in the kingdom. You know, in that kingdom that ruled, and that was actually was the kingdom of Babylon, not our kingdom, right? So, and now we're here in America, and we're here in democracy. We're here in the end. I pray, you know what I mean, that we're here in the end of this turmoil. We don't necessarily have to stay, you know, under the foothold or the heel of our oppressor, right? There's things we can do in this kingdom that we can regulate and be able to be more of a blessing to one another. And I think as this system crumbles, we're going to have to come home, right? We're going to have to come home to our own, right? I believe the prophecy says that all the creatures, right, all the nations are going to consort to their own kind. Everybody going to go where they're comfortable, where their people are.
Right.
Right. But then when we come together, what do we have for one another? You know, how are we going to be able to deal with the things that are sufficient for one another? Well, there's some knowledge in the scriptures on how our mentality was supposed to be when it comes to taking care of one another. So we're going to touch on those scriptures, and we're going to talk more about our inability to gather together and how that affects us even financially. All right. I believe the title of today's show is "Can You Run a Company Without Company?"
It's powerful.
Yeah.
Shout out to the engineer.
That's it. Extraordinaire.
Yeah.
All right. Can you run a company without company? You know, and basically what it's saying is, can you build I would say
an empire by yourself.
An empire by yourself? Can you build an entity that's creating financial stability for many? A strong financial stable entity by yourself? Is that what our forefathers did? Because they had wealth. Did they get it by themselves? Usually when you heard of a wealthy man, like the time of Job, he said he had many servants. And, you know, many people were being blessed by the substance that Job had. Boaz, he wasn't no lightweight either.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Boaz was a lightweight. He wasn't no scrub. You know? They talk about the richest Solomon and say he was the richest king ever. These are all Israelites dwelling at different times on the earth. And we have to realize there is a blessing that comes with wealth if we obtain that wealth righteously. If we obtain it wickedly, well, there's a curse that comes with it too. So we're gonna talk about all that. We got verses for all that. It's all in there.
Bring it out.
You know what I mean? The priest guy always says the Bible's like ragu sauce. If you remember the commercials, it's all in there, right? Whatever you need, it's in there. All right, so we're gonna get started. Let's get Colossians 3, verse 17. Let's start with that, giving all homage to the Most High in the way of Mashiach Yahushua.
The book of Colossians, chapter 3, verse 17. And whatsoever you do in word or deed, do all in the name of the Adonai Yahushua, giving thanks to the Most High and the Father by him.
Right, giving all praises to the Most High in the name of Mashiach Yahushua always, for his name ruleth and reigneth forever. So family, what we talking about here again is, can you build a company, right? Or can you run a company without company, without other brothers and sisters holding you down? People you trust, people can help you build. A lot of us got a lot of building in our minds, but We got a lot of designs in our minds, but don't have the hands to fulfill them. And why is that? You know what I mean? Why are we all got this individual mentality for so long and we're not winning with it?
I actually got a precept for you real quick, Chief.
Cause
The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 4, verse 11 and 12 in the New Living Translation. Likewise, two people lying close together can keep each other warm.
Mm-hmm.
But how can one be warm alone?
Mm-hmm.
A person standing alone can be attacked and defeated, but two can stand back to back and conquer. Three are even better, for a triple braided cord is not easily broken.
Right, 3 is even better. So there is defense,
Safety,
strength,
security.
Yeah, in numbers. Long as those numbers are, they coming with their strength too. They're not going to be dragging you down. You don't need to add weight, but you need to add strength to your situation. All right, I'm going to pull a set of verses. Let's get 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. 1 Corinthians 10 and 21. Let's open up the discussion. Family online, I want to ask you that question. Can you build a company? Can you really run a company without company? Can we build strongholds by ourselves? Have you ever seen a man build a building by himself? Yeah,
that's a good example.
I mean, what is the examples of life like Crucial brought out? What is the examples of life that you've seen that things can be built in its esteem and feed many and be strong and mighty, and only one person is putting their hands to the plow?
I mean, if you let people tell it, especially in our society, Black and Hispanic people, they got it out the mud. They did it on their own. They got it. They came up from the bottom, but most of the time they don't give credit to the Most High. They don't give credit to their team or the people that supported them. But that's like romanticizing our culture. Everybody want to feel like they did it by themselves and they never had no help. Their mama ain't even help them. My teacher said I would never be nothing, but look at me now. That's like how we romanticize wealth and riches in our culture.
We esteem that train of thought.
Well, we got to stop lying, because they be straight lies.
Yeah,
talking about you came up by yourself. No, you didn't.
And if you did, you probably did something strange for that change.
Ain't no if you did not. There's no way that let's say you're a rapper, right? So you rap this song, you made your beats, right? You recorded it. You was in the booth, which is also behind the board, right? You was in the booth and the board, and then you took your song, you pressed it up, you distributed. You can't do it by yourself. It's impossible. We say things that are just not true. We got a habit of lying.
Be capping.
So I would say that would be
came with new words for lying now. Capping. We cap so much we don't even realize we capping. You know what I mean? Like you said, I got it for the bun. I struggled. I came up on my own. No, you know how people say to me, somebody said to me, I know you've all experienced this. I said, where'd you learn the truth at? Oh, I taught myself.
Yeah, so it just came to you.
The Most High taught me. You lying. You lying. You went somewhere, somehow, and the spirit was endowed upon you through somebody's mouth. Right? Every one of us have been taught. There's nothing wrong with that. At one point, we got with somebody and we built our knowledge and our wisdom with somebody. Yeah, you read by yourself, but you learned amongst your peers.
So somewhere there's a disconnect, because the people that got it, they saying they got it by themselves. And the people that's trying to get it, we don't trust other people enough. We feel like somebody gonna take our idea. We feel like, other people, they hating on us, they gonna bring us down. It's some type of disconnect where the people that's trying to get it, they can't find a way to put a team together, and the people that already have it, they feel like they can't give nobody the credit that due credit that they deserve for helping them out.
Brother, that disconnect is called covetousness. That's all it is. We covet, man. We have a covetous spirit amongst our people. It always gonna come back to sin, right? That covetous, we won't come back to covetousness in a minute. Covetousness is very, very, it's slick. And it can end up in your body
and you don't even know it. It end up in your mind, and you don't even realize, damn, am I being covetous?
So you saying poverty might be a spirit?
It's a covetous spirit
Mm-hmm.
that causes poverty, right? It causes poverty. It causes you not to be able to trust anything enough to put your effort into it to get a gain, to get a return, right? So you live looking for the fast life, the fast return, because you don't trust enough. So if you don't get an instant gratification, you don't want nothing to do with it. Well, instant gratification is, it don't last, right? How long you gonna labor to get something to actually create some wealth, right? And how you going? Are you willing to spread that with others, or are you gonna look at the numbers, man? You know, I wasn't in the streets, man. If I go get this by myself, I get all the pot,
right?
Now I gotta bring somebody with me, but I gotta split it with you. Now you don't want to split it, but don't you know if you split it, you'll make more, you get more, because when you split it, your energies is supposed to be double.
Can I get a precept?
Yeah, I'm still holding this one, but go ahead.
Sirach 14:3.
Come, I was already there. I'm thinking that.
Let me see what you got.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 14, verse 3. Riches are not comely for a niggard.
For what?
A nigger.
So not, it's not a nigger. It's a niggard, right? So what's a niggard? When you look up the word niggard, it's talking about somebody who's stingy. It's talking about someone that doesn't want to share, doesn't want anyone to get a piece, wants it all for themselves, right? That's what a niggard is. When you look up the definition.
Stingy.
Yep, that's the best word I think.
You got a lot of niggards in the nation of Israel.
So I think it's a lot of layers to this thing.
Family.
I think it's a lot of layers to it, because when we look at our community, the people that we do see that are successful, like the Floyd Mayweathers or the Oprahs or the Michael Jordans, you know, they don't want to spread the wealth to the rest of the people of the community. You know what I'm saying? They stingy.
They do.
But what I'm saying is like
they don't spread the wealth to your community.
Yeah,
you might think you trust me. Oprah didn't get there by herself. There's a lot of Oprah made a lot of the people around her are millionaires. When you look at an Oprah or a Tyler Perry or Floyd Mayweather, a lot of the people around them are millionaires, right? They're not in our neighborhood, so we like you saying, that illusion that they put out there, like I did this. Floyd Mayweather would not be so nice with his hands if it wasn't for his trainer. He wouldn't have those great fights if it wasn't for his agent, right? It doesn't happen that way. You know what I mean?
So I kind of want to push back on something you said earlier. You were saying that covetousness or covetousness, that's one of the major reasons why a lot of people are impoverished. But I will also say that we don't have a lot of examples of people that give back to the neighborhoods and teach, not just like, you know, just throw their money in the neighborhood, even though that'd be nice as well. But we don't have a lot of examples of people that give their resources and they don't give their knowledge. They don't give the information to everybody else so they could pull us up as well. So I think just even the lack of information is one of the reasons that we're impoverished at this point. At the same time, though, you can't use that as an excuse, because you got YouTube now. You know, you got the internet. You even got the library. You can go to the library and figure out some of this stuff. But you know, when it comes to the people that have been successful, they don't really give back or pull other people up. You know, and give them the resources they need.
Yeah, that's a part of it. You know, I mean, you know, you might find out though a lot of people that's in position, they would like to. But a lot of our people that's not in position, they're not concerned.
They don't really want to put in the work to get.
They don't want to put the work in. You know what I mean? They just want to get something given to them. You know what I mean? So this is not for everyone. This is for people that want to put that work in. That's
so
willing
you're not talking
to
about the
grind
sluggard right now.
What's that?
You're not talking about the sluggard.
Not the sluggard, man. Not the niggard or the sluggard. You know what I mean? You ain't got you have no game in this situation here. You can step aside, right? The niggard and the sluggard, the one that live a beggar's life, you could all step aside. I could all go in the same group.
Right.
This conversation is for those that can see the Father's plan when it comes to gathering ourselves together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? What's the plan? Why are we gathering together? Are we gathering together to be a big party and throw a big shindig? You know what I mean? Or are we gathering together to build? to create and to move forward, to depend on one another. So we're gonna get to those verses right here. Is that it on that 14? I think there's more on that.
Yes, a little bit more. Yeah, our people gathering together for Freaknik now. You know, we ain't
Oh,
really,
they still got that? That's crazy.
you know, they done brought it back. They got documentaries about it now. I think 21 Savage did another version of it. So
Oh,
you
man.
know, that's what we come together for.
First documentaries on Netflix?
Yeah.
That's crazy. All right, you ready?
That's not an advertisement, by the way.
The book of Sirach, chapter 14, verse 4. He that gathereth by defrauding his own soul, gathereth for others. That shall spend his goods righteously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good?
Right.
He shall not take pleasure in his goods.
Mm-hmm.
There is none worse than he that envieth himself.
Right.
And there is a recompense of his wickedness.
And there's a what?
A recompense of his wickedness.
And it's a recompense of his wickedness. Man, he's envious of his own self.
I need a breakdown on that.
Meaning that it's all about the gloating. Right?
Mhm.
He's all about, you know, like we just talking about these people that claim to have done this thing by themselves or act like they've done it by themselves, or that don't want to pull other people up and just want to shine on everybody. That's somebody that's envy of themselves. They just want to see themselves.
They want to stun on everybody.
Yeah, they want to be the number one stunner. No cap. So shout to Stunner. Yeah, you ain't like that out. But some people, they don't want nobody to shine. They want to shine by themselves.
Mhm.
If they're gonna envy, they're gonna envy themselves. If they're gonna shine, if they're gonna outshine, they're gonna outshine themselves. They want to be first, second, and third place.
Yeah.
They don't want nobody in no place. And that's a very selfish, self-absorbed mentality that a lot of our people do actually hold on to.
Mhm.
And it's something that we, as Hebrews and Israelites, we got to be smarter than that.
So what's the
What you put
righteous
up on
way
the
for
board?
us?
That same scripture in the GNT.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, 14 and 3.
You want to bring
See,
it up? to
it
GNT?
kind of tells what it's kind of using the words that I was saying. It said it is right for someone. Sorry, it isn't right for someone who is selfish to be rich. Right? What use is money to a
Stingy.
a stingy person? Right? If you deny yourself in order to accumulate wealth, you are only accumulating it for someone else.
Mhm.
Others will use your riches to live in luxury. How can you be generous with others if you are stingy with yourself? If you are not willing to enjoy your own wealth, no one is worse off than someone who is stingy with himself. It is a sin that beginneth its own punishment. Wow.
Mm.
All right. When such a person does something good, it is only by accident.
Mm.
His selfishness will sooner or later be evident. A selfish person is evil. He turneth his back on people's needs and is never satisfied with what he has. Greed will shrivel up a person's soul. Some people are too stingy to put bread on their own table. So, you know, reading that kind of made me think about that statement of people love money so much. It's to their own hurt.
I ain't gonna lie, after you read that, I need to do some self-reflection. I need to make sure I ain't being too stingy,
They're
man.
being stingy.
That's a razor blade right there, man.
Yeah. You can't be, because wealth is to be used. Money is something that's fluent.
Mhm.
It's not something that you could sit down. It's like water. You put water in a bowl, it becomes stagnant. Money's a fluent thing. The more we learn about money, you're gonna learn that it has to be moving for it to be useful, for even to gain percentage and wealth, for it to grow, it needs to be moving. Stagnant money don't move.
What was the part where it said that something about it being a sin? I want to go back to that because I think it shows your lack of faith as well. If you holding on to your money, not thinking the Most High is going to give you abundance, or that the Most High is not going to use your finances or your wealth to bless you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that shows a lack of faith.
Well, does the Most High give you money? That's a good question. Let me ask that to the chat. Shout out to everybody on the chat, on the login. I see y'all checked in and making your comments, and all your comments are really appreciated. We here in the conversation. Shout out to Brother Kashakia at NYC is in the building. Shout out to my Isha Mariah, always in the check-in, liveling it up. Sister L, Shalom sis. Bar Breezy, Barzal Matazawad is in the building. Lion Paw, right? In the building. Shalom King. Shalom to Sister Rona coming out of ATL. All right. You know what I mean? Good to see you in the chat. What's going on? Right? A-Town, was it A-Town down?
A-Town down?
That's what it is. All right. So shout out to everyone that's in the chat. If you have not checked in yet, do check in and say shalom so we can say shalom back at you. All right. We got the Beam team in the building. All right. Shamwa Allah is on a check-in. I see you, brother. I see you. All right. So we're talking about wealth. You know, we just talked about some of the negatives of our people with wealth. And we're going to get to the positives in a minute. We'll get to what the Father said in a minute. But you know, we're analyzing the negatives and saying, why are we like this, man? Why are we so divided? Like, we were talking earlier before we came on the show, and I said, when you see Esau, he in a chess club, or he in a fraternity, or they in a sorority, when that business open up, you're gonna see that same group in the boardroom.
Yeah.
Right? Running that multi-million-dollar company. Why? Because they understand group economics. You see, when them boys come over here from China, right? They don't go to they ain't going to nobody else but they own for that loan to build that business, because they understand that it's power. You know, they go to the Chinese embassy, they go to the Chinese bank.
Right.
Why there's a Chinese bank in America? Right? Because the Chinese bank is for the Chinese people.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I heard they got some black banks out there, but I don't know what they're doing. I can't say I have a lot of knowledge on that. Maybe somebody could bring me up to speed on the black bank that's out there. I heard there's some black banks out there, and what they're doing for, you know, to encourage entrepreneurship or, you know, or business. You know, even this word entrepreneur.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I like that word out. Because why, when black people try to start a business, they're entrepreneurs. But when white people start a business, they're business owners. They don't call them entrepreneurs. They never call Steve Jobs an entrepreneur. I never heard him ever referred to in that statement. You know what I mean?
What's the definition of entrepreneur?
That's a good question. We bring it up on a line. All right. Because, you know, it's not, I've been thinking it's these one-off small businesses that they think, okay, y'all go be an entrepreneur. Well, we own all the Exxons and the Mobiles and Toyotas and everything else between. Let's see what it means.
A person who organizes and operates a business or businesses, taking on greater than normal financial risk in order to do so.
Oh man, I didn't know that.
You see
I
what I'm
always
saying?
thought that had a good connotation to it.
You see what I'm saying, family? Let's pay close attention to this definition of entrepreneur. A person who organizes and operates. What I would say, want to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
A business, all businesses. Oh, I got what you into? Oh, I got 4 businesses. I write books. I ride bikes. I walk dogs. I do. Oh, you're an entrepreneur. Yeah, because I do a bunch of stuff. Right.
So that's the corporate way of calling somebody a niggard.
Taking greater than normal financial risk in order to do so. Why? Because these big businesses, they don't take the risk. The bank takes the risk. They go to the bank for all the money.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I'm glad you brought that out. Like I never I didn't even.
And I just noticed that they do
That's
that,
crazy.
but I never knew what the word meant. But I just noticed anytime our people getting into business, we're called entrepreneurs for some reason. But Esau starts businesses all the time. They never call him an entrepreneur
You're the CEO.
because they call him the CEO, the CFO, the owner. You know what I mean? Who started this, who launched this. They never call Elon Musk an entrepreneur.
Mhm. They tycoons.
You know what I'm saying? They got some other word for them. Why? Because they don't take more than the risk. Right? They don't take more than the risk they need to take. They don't use their own money. They use the bank money. The bank trusts them. So the bank gives them a couple million so they can make a couple billion. Right?
Low interest rate.
Yeah, low to no interest rate, because they know that whatever they building, they'll get some money back. They'll get some points back on it. All right. So, remember, once money's moving, it recreates. All right. So we're missing a part of this equation. Shalom to Ha in the check-in, and Truth Royalty. Shalom for checking in with us. Right. We're missing part of the equation. Let's go to that 1 Corinthians 10. Let's show some family something here. We're gonna go a little semi-deep. And shalom to the family. We want to we're gonna have the anchor man. Anchor man he's waiting in the wings. All right, Anchor man with the master plan. He's waiting in the wings. He got the news that you can't lose with. He's coming up real soon. Right. I'm sorry he's loaded because there's a lot happening in the earth right now. So
yeah, hopefully you got some news about some black enterprises.
Black enterprise business news. Well, I tell you. All right. Let's get that 1 Corinthians 10.
Actually, I had a quick precept for you.
What's that?
The book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 29, verse 11 to 12.
Okay.
Thine, O Yahweh, is the greatness and the power and the glory and the victory and the majesty. For all that is in the heaven and in earth is thine. Thine is the kingdom. O Yahweh, thou art exalted as a head above all. Both riches and honor come of thee.
Right. Riches and honor come of thee, man. That's especially when you are living according to the commandments. Because, this world, Satan, listen, if Satan could have offered, just the fact that Satan offered Yahushua this world, right, tells us who owns this world, right? This world is in the hand of Satan, right? He said, only bow down to me and I give you all these kingdoms, right? So we know that this world is operating under an evil charge. But even the demons can't stand up against Hamashiach Yahushua, right? The demons got to flee when Yahushua speaks. Why am I bringing this up? Because I don't want nobody to think on the line, oh, right, well, we in captivity. We in the evil time. That's why we can't do this and we can't do that. We can't have no money. We can't have no substance.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if I tell an Israelite that he should have $1 million or she should have $1 million, they probably ready to ban me and say, "See, I told you something wrong. I told you something wrong with that minister, right?" But truth believe, I'm not saying nothing that the scriptures are not saying, right? The scriptures say he addeth wealth with no sorrow. Was that verse? I'm gonna get it in a minute. The Most High addeth wealth with no sorrow. You don't have to be jacked up. You don't have to be wicked and evil to have gain in his kingdom. But the Most High is not going to give you that gain in vain. Meaning that if he gives you that gain, you better be ready to do the work with it. You better be ready to distribute, ready to everything. But we're gonna go into what the rich was told to do in the spirit of the Most High. If they rolling in the spirit of the Most High. What you holding, Cap? You pulling that for me?
I got you. Mm-hmm. The book of Proverbs, chapter 10, verse 22.
Go ahead.
The blessing of Yahweh, it maketh rich.
Right.
And he addeth no sorrow with it.
He addeth what?
No sorrow with it.
The blessing of the Most High maketh rich and adds no sorrow with it. You know how they say more money, more problems?
Yeah.
That's not true with the Most High.
That's right. That's not biblical.
Yeah. That's not biblical. That's the hood.
Biggie.
That's from the book. That's from the book of Biggie Smalls.
Yeah,
verse 1.
Who he was partying with.
Chapter 1, verse 3. The book of Biggie Smalls. Right? Come on. It's not more money. If it's more money, more problems in your life, that's because you are not hone it down with the Most High.
I'm trying to be a bad boy.
You're not really trying to keep these commandments, because if you keeping these commandments, that should not be the case. That's absolutely incorrect, right? So we have to stop tying, right? Cream, got Bath in the building. Shout out to Maxine D and
No Diddy.
and to Captain Bayoff just checked in. All right. Get the money, right? Dollar bill, y'all, right? I got you. All right. So let's get what you going in there. Okay, yeah, let's get it.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 21.
Bring it out.
You cannot drink the cup of Yahweh
Right?
and the cup of devils.
Right?
You cannot be partakers of the Lord's table and of the table of devils.
Right. So get it in your mind. Whatever you do in the spirit of the Most High, with Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, and wherever it takes you, it will not take you to the table of devils, right? You're only at the table of devils or drinking the cup of the wicked if you're doing wickedness, if you're doing evil, right? But if you stay on the path of righteousness, you don't have to worry about evil, right? The Most High is not going to, the scriptures say, he said, I don't tempt no man with evil.
Right.
He said, if anybody's led away, you're led away with the evil that's in you.
It's your own imaginations.
So you can't make what the blessing of the Father give you an evil thing if you stayed in the commandments. Right? Let's read.
Verse 22. Do we provoke Yahweh to jealousy?
Mm-hmm.
Are we stronger than him?
Come on.
So I
Is
can't
the
figure out.
Most High, is he smarter than us? Are we smarter than the Most High? Right? Engineer, pull it up.
Good.
Are we smarter than the Most High?
All things are lawful for me,
Mhm.
but all things are not expedient.
Right?
All things are lawful for me, but all things edify not.
Right. There's a lot I can do, but it's not a lot. But even though the things that I'm able to do by way of commandment doesn't mean it's right for me personally. So sometimes you got to look at this walk and say, okay, these things are lawful, but are they good for you personally? Is that your walk? Right? Some things are of your walk, some things are not. Right? Let's read.
Let no man seek his own,
Right?
but every man another's wealth.
Every man what?
Another's wealth.
Let no man seek his own, but every man another's wealth. Meaning that what? We're supposed to use the money and love the people, not love the money and use the people. For so long, we've been doing this backwards. We said, well, we got to get people so I can make money. I'm going to get these people to do this thing so I can make money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I love the money. I don't really want to bless the people. That's why we have these situations like, companies where people working for the company and the company want to pay you $10 an hour, knowing darn well you can't live, you can't breathe with $10 an hour in this kingdom, right? But they'll gladly pay you $10 an hour while they make it about $1,000 an hour on your back. That's the evil of the so-called white man. That's the evil that's taught by the European. We're not to move in that type of evil. We're supposed to be ready and willing to look out for one another, look for each other's wealth. If you started a business, you were looking for that business to what? So the men that work for your business should be able to feed their families comfortably, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are we not doing business right?
Right.
Right. They should be able to take care of their business comfortably, and in the Most High return to make sure you can take care of yours. This is the way the Father operates. That's how finance is supposed to be used. It's not supposed to be used and collected by one person on the backs of many, and then what? The people get what? Nothing,
Mm-hmm.
right? You get your name, like you say, you get to be Oprah, you get to be Mayweather, you get to be your name in lights, but the people that work for you, who are they? All right. It's not supposed to be that way. It's a twisted mentality. Keep going.
Verse 25. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat.
So whatever is sold in the shambles, that eats. So now he's talking about coming in the shambles. Shambles is where the meats and everything is being sold.
Uh-huh.
Right? Sold. You go up in the marketplace of your people, of course, right? This is not talking about the heathen. It's not talking about swine's flesh or nothing like that. So let's get that straight out right now, right? It's talking about you going into the marketplace of your own people. He said, whatsoever you want to take it, buy it, take it, eat it, right? Go ahead.
Verse 26.
Mhm.
So like here. Verse 25. Whatsoever is sold in the shambles, that eat, asking no question for conscience sake.
Right. Ask no question for conscience sake. Don't worry about it. Deal with your people. They sell it, they sell it, they're providing, take it in. Go ahead.
For the earth is Yahweh's, and the fullness thereof.
Because everything in this earth was given for us to consume, but everything was not made consumable. I'm gonna run that back again. Everything in this earth was made for us to consume, but everything was not made consumable.
Mm-hmm.
Someone has to do the work, right? Even the fruit that's on the trees, the high fruit on the trees, somebody has to go pick the fruit, bring it to the marketplace.
Right.
Could you imagine if every time you wanted a certain fruit, you got to go find the tree?
Yeah.
What kind of life would you be living? Everybody be, yo, I heard there's star fruit that way. All right, come on, let's go, right?
Mm-hmm.
I heard there's apples in the valley. All right, come on, let's go. How about you go to the marketplace and everything is in the marketplace? Why? Because somebody did the work to bring the things so you could consume it. He made the consumption, the things of Yah, consumable. If you're standing in between what the people need, right, and what's provided by the Most High, you're doing business. You're not an entrepreneur, but you're doing business, right? We're talking now. I'm talking agriculturally, but this goes for everything. Where does steel come from? Metal.
From the earth.
From the earth. Is there anything we need to do with steel? No. But I bet you what, but if you check it up closer, this table is screwed together with screws that were made from steel.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Sometimes we don't think about how it affects it, but somebody has to make it what? If somebody didn't make those nails and sell those nails, we would have no use of that steel that's in the earth. We have to make the things of the Father consumable for each other. There's many things that's consumable, that's needed for our daily.
Mm-hmm.
Right, matter of fact, can we get that list real quick? The things that's
Oh, okay.
needed for life, to preserve life. When we talking family, we talking finance, but we also talking wisdom, right? We talking group. We're about to get into group economics and how important it is for a nation that's growing. That we can't keep thinking that we're gonna be the shines man or the shines woman, right? But we looking to bring value to the whole family, to the whole nation.
You know, another talking point that I hear a lot from people is like when you bring up like Black Wall Street, or you bring up, you know, back in the day when we had our own communities, they try to say, well, if we try to build it up like that, you know, the other nations, the white man, they're gonna come and bomb it. We can't have it. So I think that's another reflection of
fear.
Fear, not having faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. A lot of people don't know, like Black Wall Street was not the only community that we had in America that was thriving. We had communities in Chicago. We had places in Harlem. We had Cis-Trunk, like, you know, all over this society. We had different places that we was forced to work together and build together because we couldn't buy from the other nations. So we didn't have any choice but to patron each other and buy from each other. And that built up our wealth. So now we have a choice. Now we got that shackle around, that imaginary shackle around our neck. And we afraid to, you know, to build together because we afraid somebody gonna come buy my community.
Why did our community get bombed before?
Out of jealousy.
So is it jealousy, or
we were vulnerable because we didn't, you know, stay righteous. We didn't have the protection.
Everybody, of course, people gonna be mad, but we ain't had no protection. Because our only protection is Yahweh Bahashem Hamashiach Yahushua. And we don't get his protection if we don't keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. It's a deal we got to make with him. He said he'll be our God if we be his people, Con. So if we're not being his people, how we going to expect our God to stand up for us? and defend us. One thing you're going to learn about that Black Wall Street and a lot of these communities, how people were built up to, unfortunately, we was doing some wickedness, right? We were doing like our oppressor. When we got up under the thumb of our oppressor, instead of us going back to who we are, we wanted to be just like him. We wanted to do the things we saw him do, be the way we saw him be, treat each other the way he treated his own people. We started to be a black copy of the so-called white man. And that's why the Most High let these jokers throw a bomb on top of us, right?
What I really want to do is try to, during the show, find some solutions to our issues, because we could see even back in the 1920s and, you know, right out of slavery, we was in Jim Crow law and all that. What's the other word? When we was rebuilding, Jim Crow, then we had Reconstruction. Like, we had black millionaires, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't just Madam C.J. Walker. It was actually women and people that came before Madam C.J. Walker. You know, if we was able to do that when we literally had people lynching us and, you know, kidnapping us and raping us and without any consequences, what are we doing in 2024? What's holding us back in 2024 when we in the information age from having that?
Well, I gotta ask the question of your question. You say we. Who's the we? Because we is a very ambiguous word. Because there's groups of Jakes that's millionaires.
That's very true.
On earth right now.
That's true.
Groups and droves.
But I would argue that what I'm talking about is communities. These people had communities where this person, they own, you know, a landscaping business. This other person, they owned a movie theater. This person owned, there was the doctor. It wasn't just all these rappers and barbershops. Of course, we need music and everything, but, you know, we had some type of infrastructure where, you know, we had places to eat. We had places to entertain us. We had, you know, even in Black Wall Street, I believe they had bus companies and train companies. So why don't we own these things today when we have so much information?
Because we don't want to. What we want to is integrate. Remember, in 1960s and the 70s, there was a big push for integration. That shut down black everything. Now, when you say black this and black that, you know what they call you? They call it reverse racism.
Yeah.
Right? When you start talking about being pro-black, now you're a terrorist and you're a racist. These are the tricks, the mind tricks that they play on us, but they work, right? We're not in a position on this earth to be racist or bigots. We don't have the power to do that. When we are special interest group, now I say we could be a special interest group, just no different than the people that fight for the Irish that came from Ireland and the people that make sure that the Chinese are no Asian hate is going on in the earth. Nobody calls them racist when they say, you know, that they got to employ more Asians and stuff like that. Everybody go, oh yeah, that's a good fight, man. Yeah, go ahead, do that.
Yeah,
right?
When Italian people do it, they make movies out of it. You know, the mobs, and you know they fantasize and
they come
they
together.
romanticize
mob owned people. There's businesses that everybody know is mob owned, and it's just still thriving. And go ahead.
Right, you can go right down to Las Olas and go to Al Capone's. They, you know what I'm saying? They make it like an idolatry almost. You know.
So we know that. You know, when you say why don't we have him, I say who's the we? Because all these things exist. When I think of we, I think of the 12 tribes of Israel. When I think of we, I think of the Israelite community. When are we going to get it right? We don't have to be locked out of these things. We can do it with the power of the Most High and keeping His commandments, right? Right? Because if the Most High says that riches is part of His blessing and wealth is a part of His blessing, then we stressing to keep these commandments so we can receive blessings. Why are we afraid of that? Right? Why do we demonize anybody amongst us that becomes fruitful on that level? Right?
Yeah, I agree with that. We have a fear of being successful.
Right? I mean, you know what? And you read a lot of signal words, because success this is what I call success. First of all, knowing your gift or your talent, right? Developing your gift or your talent and being deployed in your gift and your talent and employed by your gift and your talent, then you're successful. Because then you live a life doing what you love to do,
Right. It's not gonna be grievous.
taking care of
Right.
your responsibilities, doing what you love to do and what you know how to do and what you're great at, right? Using your talent, how have you developed your talent? Because you might have a certain gift, but you develop that gift enough that now it's a gift to others, and they're willing to pay you for it, right? And then they pay you for it, and then what? You're able to take care of your things that you need in life. So they get what they need, you get what you need. Like we're going to go to the list of needs, right? You got that? Still on the needful things in life.
Oh yes, I got it.
What do you got? Signs of fear of success. The biggest well, I'm about to read it. All right, we go back to the list.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 29, verse 26. The principal things for the whole use of man's life are water, fire, iron, and salt, flour of wheat, honey, milk, and blood of grape, and oil and clothing.
Mm-hmm. So these are the principal things of man's existence. The essentials, like Crucial said. So do we provide that for our own?
No, somebody had to get these things.
Got a couple clothing lines.
Right. Who has a couple clothing lines?
You always come to Crucial. This is Crucial I got on right now. Actually.
But it came from a factory.
Yeah, get you a camp shot. But that's that. You took it. You did take it. No, you took it a step further.
I'm gonna get on Crucial case right here on the line, right?
Oh no,
Crucial, you don't got no clothing line out.
I was just gonna say y'all took it a step further because I don't own the tech. I don't own the cotton and the textiles and the the machinery. I know where y'all going with it.
If there's not a room full of Moabite somewhere sewing your clothes, right?
I don't have a.
That's when you got a clothing line.
Yeah.
When I go into Macy's, I want to see Crucial in there. I want to see Crucial
made in Israel,
made in Jeshurun,
made in Jerusalem,
right?
But I'm trying to get that's my main thing. We got to get some solutions here because that's where I want to go.
But that's the solution. Let me explain. I'm gonna walk with you with the solution.
Yeah.
Somebody yourself, you have a talent to make clothes and make clothes look appealing, right? Remember I said, what did you start? What's the success start with? Knowing your talent, right? What was the second thing? Developing your talent.
Mm-hmm.
How do you develop a talent of clothing? How do you go forth to develop it? Right? You have to learn the business, right?
Mm-hmm.
The real, how to get funded, how to get, all right, right? Huh?
Hold on, real quick, that's
not even just business credit. You got to know that industry. I don't know the clothing industry. I'm impressed by the clothing industry a lot of time because I heard of clothing industries clothing brands that have made millions, and I've never even heard of the name before.
So, real quick, if you a viewer right now, I need y'all to like, share, subscribe, comment. Y'all getting a live case study right now as far as
the scrolls are opening.
Right, we open up the scrolls right now. We actually doing a live case study. The Ak Chief Shalimar, he just brought out the true definition of entrepreneurship. You're not getting this information anywhere. I don't even think. What's that show? Earn Your Leisure. I don't know if they bringing this type of information out right now. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to make sure y'all doing y'all part as well and supporting the show because we actually bringing out some awesome information. If you're not tuning in right now, you missing out. And if you're not sharing this to somebody else, then you being a niggard right now.
Yeah, stop being a niggard and hit that like button.
Stop withholding this information from the community.
Right, I only see 2 likes there. What we doing out there, fam?
You got 2 likes?
That's all I'm seeing.
I think I'm one of them.
Somebody needs some.
And I'm one of them. So ain't nobody. Come on, get them likes up.
What Dr. Maya right now?
All right. But I want to walk through that because I think you're asking a real powerful question. How do we fix this? What's the solution? What's the step? What am I missing? And I can speak from theory. I can speak from a little bit of experience and a lot of research. I pray to one day speak from having one have done it all.
Right.
You know what I mean? Have accomplished it. But until that day comes, I can just tell you the research I've done. You know what I mean? And the theory that I've studied. And a lot of times we don't develop our talent. We got a talent, we know we're good at something, and we take it one step and we don't take it all the way through. We don't take that talent till we're a professional at what we say we're good at. You have to be a professional of what you're good at. What does it mean to be a professional? That means you can do it effortlessly. That means you know it through and through, and it's an effortless adventure to do this thing because you got it. But you have to develop that point. Once you develop that point of knowing it that well, the next step is what? You get deployed in it, meaning that you go into the business and start doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And then while you start doing the business, before you know it, guess what? You'll be employed by your talent because your talent will pay you. And people will pay you for your talent. And you're providing this clothing for everyone. And what? It becomes, at some point, it's going to be on automatic.
You know, it's like, let me just land me back. It made me remember when I was listening to that undercover Israelite brother with the beard, with the regarding finances.
Yeah.
And he brought out how Solomon and his contemporary kings were coming to him to get wisdom. Because, you know, that wisdom, that information was his talent, his skill, the Most High gave him.
Yeah.
And he was getting paid, basically kicking free game.
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't free game.
Oh, wisdom.
Yeah, he was getting
his wisdom.
He was kicking pay
game.
Because they knew that those days they looked at things as value.
Mm-hmm.
And you paid. So somebody brought you something. Then somebody increased. If I tell you something and I increase your kingdom, I increase your finance tenfold, you ain't gonna come back and bless me? See, those days you would never do that. You're gonna come back and bless me and want some more wisdom, right? You're gonna go do something else, come back and bless me, you're gonna bless me again, right? Because you're gonna be like, yo, this guy is he's what we call it, he the plug.
Yeah, even if you read
take care of the plug, or else you might get unplugged, right?
Listen, if you read the book of Daniel, they was talking about how Daniel, he would like interpret these dreams for the king. You know, he'll be like, take off this robe and give him a ring. It's like he blessing that brother.
Give him everything. Yeah.
Right, just to interpret a dream.
What is that? Listen, when Joseph interpreted a dream, what did Pharaoh do?
Second in command.
He gave him the whole kingdom.
Yeah.
You think Joseph was worried about his telephone bill?
Nope.
His automobile? He worried about his wives got diamonds and jewels? Man, they were straight.
Yeah. Pharaoh said, I don't know who your God is, but I need to serve him.
That's it. But for now, you the man. They said, you can have everything in my kingdom except for my wife. And she was trying to give herself to him too. She was going the hell off, right? So show you that what? It's your talents, family. And we're the most talented people on the earth. Hands down. We already know that. That's without an argument. But we don't tap into that. We don't develop them. We don't get deployed and then end up being employed in the things that we do the best. And that's shame on us. You know, I take credit. I take what do you call it? Not credit, but the flack for it.
Accountability.
I take accountability for being a leader in Israel, for not pushing brothers further and harder into their talents. But I won't have that on my rap sheet for long, right? Because the reality, first, every step starts with the realization that it has to be taken. Right? Nobody takes a step unless they have some place to go. And when you realize there's some place that you have to reach, you go and start taking them steps. Right? You can't be satisfied with standing still. Right? So I don't underestimate your talents and the value they bring to something. I don't read as fast as a captain. Captain moves kind of quick. Right. So we talking about it on the Bring It Out show. All right. And the values they bring to the world, right? To the world. Because that's what's crucial, what's important. There's one thing, you didn't create you. So you are, what's I say? He made us in the image of himself. What was different about the Most High? What's different about us than every animal? I know I brought this out before, but I'll bring it out again. What's different about us, people, mankind, than all the other flesh and blood animals that he created on the earth?
I don't know the answer to this one. It's about to be a good one, ain't it?
Right.
It's about to be a good one.
When the Most High made all the creatures on the earth,
He said,
he made them a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
Right? What you got? What you on?
the book of Sirach, chapter 17. Give me 1 second. Verse 6.
Uh-huh.
He gave them their tongues, their eyes, their ears, their minds.
Go to higher verse. Verse above that.
I'm gonna start from the top.
Yeah.
Verse 1.
Now, we go to verse 1, but I'll say verse, I think 15. You start with 17?
No, I was at verse 6.
Okay. All right, start with verse 1 then.
God. Then the Lord formed human beings from
Then the Lord formed human beings. Go ahead.
from the dust
Uh-huh.
and sent each of them back to it again.
Uh-huh.
He gave them only a limited time to live,
Go ahead.
but he gave them authority over everything on earth.
Right. So when he made this thing called human being, I guess you're in the NLT, right?
Yeah, GNT.
Yeah, GNT, because
Yeah.
you throw me off with that. You gotta tell me you in there. I'm like, when the Bible said that? All right. Yeah, I'm old school, man. I'm still by KJV, right? But when the Father created us, he gave us eyes and tongue and all this stuff. But he did that for all the animals.
All right.
That's no different than a cow or a lion or a sheep. Read on.
He made them to be like himself.
That's where the difference is.
Okay.
The image.
That is the difference. He made them to be like himself. None of the creatures were made to be in the image of the Most High, but man. We're the only creature that was made to be the image of him.
To be a creator.
To be a creator. The creator built us and made us to be creators. That's why we have times. Remember, what a hawk does today is the same thing a hawk did 2,000 years ago. A hawk is still a hawk.
Oh, that's why I wanted to get verse 6 for you.
All right, go ahead.
Come on, verse 6. He gave them their tongues, their eyes, their ears, their minds, and their consciences, that which animals don't have. They don't have a conscience. That's something that we don't want with.
I wonder, animals have a conscience? That's a.
They move on instinct.
I wonder. They move on instinct.
I think they have a conscience, but not to the extent that the scripts like.
I know they made not to create. That's a good question. Maybe they don't have a conscience. The conscious created mind.
Because they just move on a straight instincts, a straight program. The Most I gave them.
Yeah. Because they don't really develop past, getting. Because animals will adapt to their environment. They'll change because of the environment, what they do, what they're around. So we know they have some sort of thought in them, and some people have dogs or cats and realize that they do have a relation. That the animal has some sort of relationship
when
with
it
them.
says conscious, is it saying like morality? Animals
that's
have some
right.
sense of morality?
The word consciousness. When I think of someone's conscience, I talk about it. That's usually referring to what's called your heart. The part of your brain that's called your heart. Meaning, there's a part of your brain that you make a decision on right and wrong. What's right, what's wrong, right? Your conscience is what determines your ability to say this is right or this is wrong. Somebody said they have no conscience. What they do?
I got the definition.
They do things that you were like, damn, you ain't got no conscience. You really gonna just steal your grandma's purse? You know what I'm saying?
Hey.
You ain't got no conscience, man.
Hey.
It ain't bother you.
I'm from Chicago.
People ain't got no conscience.
When I used to do tattoos, I used to hear some crazy stuff. People would steal out their mama purse.
Yeah.
Literally.
No conscience, man.
They'll steal their cousin phone.
Feel no way about it.
I got stories now.
Feel no way. What you got up?
Consciousness at its simplest is awareness of internal or external existence.
Okay. Awareness of your existence. Okay. That's deep. That's almost, that's almost deeper than I am.
We gotta go back to the topic.
But get into it. The Father created
I got better definitions like you.
You got another definition?
I got a better one here.
All right, go ahead.
Consciousness is the individual awareness of your unique thoughts, memories, feelings, sensations, and environments. Essentially, your consciousness is your awareness of yourself and the world around you. This awareness is subjective and unique to you.
Okay. I can see that. The conscious of yourself, your awareness of what you're doing, what you don't do, what you believe, what you don't believe. Like I said, simplified, it's the part of your brain what the scriptures refer to as your heart, right? When the Bible talks about your heart, we know it's your mind, but it's not talking about your memory, because that's a part of your mind, your memory, right? It's not talking about your reactive mind, the part of your mind that reacts. It's talking about your conscience. It's talking about what's on your what do you believe to be right, right? When you order your heart right, that means your conscience is tuned to right and wrong, right? So, according to the word of the Most High, all right. So a lot of time our conscience was seared when we was out there in the world before we came to this truth, and you was eating that grill, right?
Right.
Your conscience was seared towards it. You didn't feel no way about it, right?
That's how people eat grill.
Hey, you ain't lying. I ain't gonna lie. You ain't lying.
I mean, you was eating it, right? You had no conscience towards it because there was no sin in it, right? But when sin came, that man died. He said, "Oh shoot, I'm going all off," right? So your conscience tells you have to what? Change. Animals don't change. They do what they do. You know what I mean? Like I said, a hawk has been doing what a hawk does for I don't know how long, since it's been created, right? Dogs are dogs since they've been created. Right? They do what they exact thing what the other dogs do. They do that too. Right? Some dogs now they adapt to a certain environment. They're a little bougie, but they still dogs at the end of the day. Right? But they're not made to create. You never see the dog. Oh yeah, the dog created this house. You never saw an animal build anything. Right? It's advanced. They're way more advanced than us. An eagle. Our eyes ain't nothing like an eagle eyes. They can see a fish under the water from 1,000 feet in the air and determine how deep that fish is. That they can come down, swoop down, and get it. Our eyes don't do that. We can barely see the water down there, right? All right, so they have physical abilities that way, a dog can smell you from the time you turn the corner down the block, right?
When it comes to that conscious, though, they don't have that.
They don't got that.
That's what the most.
They have senses way above our ability. Ain't none of us as strong as an orangutan or a gorilla. We ain't got no damn strength for a gorilla or orangutan. They will slap our head off our shoulders, right? But we could outthink them, outsmart them, right? That's why they're in cages and we're not, right? Because physically, they're way stronger than us. So the understanding is, we are created to be creators. We are created to build. We are created to come together. We're created to organize. We're created to establish. Right. We're created to make a thought become a thing, right? We are created to do those things. And if we don't do those things, then we're not in the realm of our creation. This is why Yahweh Shai was a carpenter, right? Because a carpenter, when a thought becomes a thing, it's metaphorical on what he was and what Joseph was, because they're creators, right? So if we go into that creative mindset, we can't lose because we're in what we were made to be. Shalom to Einar in the check-in, Amram, right? Tell me what y'all think about that. Y'all think, am I on to something or am I just shooting off the hip? Right, man. Am I just talking smooth talk, or am I saying what's up? Right. Isha Mariah says you are so right about dogs. I remember my Chihuahua used to hear someone come to the front door before the person came to the front door. Absolutely, dogs have sense. Their senses is we can't imagine what they hear, what they smell. I remember I used to corner my block. My mother used to know I'm coming down the block because my dog would start standing at the gate. How the hell he smell me at the corner of the block? How he hear me?
Differentiate you from all the other
noises and smells that's in the air, right? So we don't have that ability, but we had the ability to create. So as much as that dog must smell, we don't want to be the scriptures talk about a dumb dog, right? A dog that can't bark. He said those preachers. Pork chop preachers are like dumb dogs, like dogs that can't bark, right? So if a dog can't bark, he's useless because he's supposed to bark. He was created to bark, protect the house. Somebody's coming. He make noise, right? Let everybody know, an alert, somebody that I don't know is coming. If the dog knows the person, it's not going to bark. His tail is going to wag, right? He's going to, oh, I know this person. I know this smell, right? So if a dog is supposed to bark, because that's what they're created to do, and we are people and we're created to be creators, why aren't we creating?
Why are we letting fear hold us back?
Why are we creative? Because we latched on to that identity of slavery.
Stockholm syndrome.
We never left. We left the plantation, but we never left slavery. We still want to be given what we need. We wanted to work for it, but we still want to be given.
Get validation from these nations.
Right. You know, the Most High can't bless your prosperity if you're doing nothing, right, that you need prosperity for. I'll give you an example. You go to work, right? You go to work, you got
Yes, sir.
You work hourly or daily? They pay you per day?
A salary, yeah.
Salary, right? You go to work
Absolutely.
hourly?
Hourly, yeah.
I go to work hourly, right? I make what I make an hour, right? No hour is going to be different unless I go into overtime, of course, time and a half, right? But I already could tell you how much my hour is going to make me. But if you live in a life of prosperity, you don't know what you're going to make in an hour, right? You have no idea, right? Let's say you're in a marketplace. When I say the marketplace, let's say you're in the stocks, right? Today, if the Most High bless it, you can make $10,000.
Right.
Right? If the Most High don't bless it, you can make $1, right? Or you could lose a few dollars if you don't know, if you're not careful. But you live in a life where what? There's things outside of your control, but because you have enough wisdom and faith, you can stand on those things.
So, in other words, you're saying that if you work a job to a certain extent, unless you work in sales, maybe, but you have a cap on the things that the type of finances that you can make.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying.
You have a ceiling on what you can make.
Right. Sales is another job that has no ceiling. Right. If it depends on your structure of your sales.
Yeah.
Because I know, some jobs they try to put a ceiling on the salespeople, right? But if they have this type of sales job, like say you're real estate, right? You could sell no houses this month, or you could sell 10.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of course, some of it has to do with what? Your skill set, your talent, the development of your talent, the deployment of your talent, and what? The employment of your talent, right? So if you're able to develop it, chances are you'll do well. You might have a good month, bad month, but you'll do well overall, right? That's why, if you're in sales or you're in a marketplace, you never know what's going to come up. The Most High could bless the right person to come at the right time, right? For instance, the brother that whoever it is, I don't know, brother, I don't know what he's I don't know what he is, Ming Ling, who knows, right? But the person that sold the jackets that we bought,
right?
He was minding his business selling jackets, right? And all of a sudden, right, we had a small group of brothers make a purchase that caused a big group of brothers to make a purchase. And before you know it, he had more jackets. He had to go get more supplies.
Right.
He ran out of jackets, right? Imagine what he was talking about in that time period, right? All of a sudden, my normal orders, I can't even keep up with them.
You got an increase.
All of a sudden, I got an influx.
An abundance.
That came through the door. I'm hustling.
I might need to hire some people to help me with this order.
That's it.
Right.
Right. So when you look at the other side, you start to realize
they doing it. They found a way.
It's very doable.
Right.
Not just that they're doing it. It's very doable. It's very doable. And as a people, we gotta push ourselves to go into that creative space, right? And not be afraid to go into the creative space. And not be so sold and sewn to the slavery mentality that I have to be given my purpose. I have to be given my wealth, my worth, right?
We got a comment.
What we got in the comments?
Captain and now he said, we think everything
is risk.
Yeah.
It's risky.
Right? That I can't see under the heart. That's why we don't create. Right. Because we're afraid of risk.
That's something we was talking about in pre-production as well. Like you have to make sacrifices to, go into the industries that you want to be fruitful in. But also,
What's
what
the
about,
scripture?
you know, when you have those type of responsibilities? What about if you a man, you know, you have children, you know, you got a wife, you know, you can't afford to just live in your car. That's not gonna happen. You can't eat tuna all day because, you know, the kids, they want Mickey D, they want Happy Meals, and you know, how do you maneuver through that type of situation? And not that maybe the people don't, maybe they do support you, but at the same time, it's like you need a situation that's low risk, you know, or something that's stable, something that is secure to make sure that your family can eat.
I want to pull a scripture. I want to get Romans 8.
Mm.
I hear what you say, Crucial. That you got to be.
Because we trying to find solutions today. You know, it's a lot of obstacles out here. We can't act like it's not a lot of stumbling blocks. But again, it always go back to our faith in Hamashiach Yahushua. Matter of fact, it's a couple scriptures in Sirach. Just not me saying that I know some scriptures in Sirach that, you know, we can go to that'll give us some instruction on that.
I want to read 35, 8 and 35. I'll show you something. If we believe this, then I want to ask, what's your definition of risk? Go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
Who should separate us from the love of Mashiach?
Mm-hmm.
Shall tribulation or
Hold on for a
distress?
second. What is the love of Mashiach?
Keeping the laws and the commandments.
That's the love of Mashiach. Who will separate us from the love of the Mashiach? Of course, keeping the law, statutes, and commandments. But now you're in the love of the Mashiach. Meaning that what? You love him, and what does he do to you?
He blesses you.
What's the
back.
relationship here?
So we talking about consciousness, kind of back to consciousness now.
No, I'm gonna bring it
We do
full
what he
circle in a
wants,
second.
and he gonna give us what we desire.
Exactly, he'll take care of us, right? He said,
Right.
"Consider the raven." Isn't that what Mashiach said?
Mm-hmm.
Who knows store, who knows sow nor reap, but eat every day, right? Go ahead.
The book of Romans, chapter 8, verse 35. Who should separate us from the love of a Mashiach?
Mhm.
Who shall tribulation
Mm-hmm.
or distress
Go ahead.
or persecution
Go ahead.
or famine
Go ahead.
or nakedness
Mm-hmm.
or peril of
Mhm.
or sword?
Go ahead.
As it is written, for thy sake we are killed all the day long.
Go ahead.
We are counted as sheep for the slaughter.
So we are already sheep to the slaughter in his kingdom, right? Read on.
Nay, in all these things we are more than conquerors through him that loved us.
On all these things, we're more than conquerors to him that love us. So if we're not worrying about, if we're really not worried about, right, distress, persecution, famine, nakedness, peril, sword, tribulation, how are we not willing to risk a few dollars?
Right.
If we really believe this. Now, if we on the fence, right, we still think that, you know, even though we're doing the right thing, we're going to get jacked up, then we're not going to go hard. We're going to go soft because
It's like, what was the point?
that's real risky. And I'm real comfortable with what I got. You know what I mean? And if you're comfortable in captivity, I guess you stay right there.
Yeah.
Because it's not for everybody.
That's the other option. You could just stay in captivity
You could just stay captive.
and serve the Most
Is
High.
it for a long time? I even say I'm gonna put myself out there. For a long time before I have the certain slavery I had now, you know, I wanted the slavery that I have now. And then when I got the slavery I have now, I don't want the slavery I got now. Right? So, you know what I'm
That's a
saying?
fact.
There was a time where I'd be like, yo, if I could just work for the county, I could lay back, I could just go to work, make a good amount of money, I could take care of a couple business. If I make about this much, I'll be comfortable. Well, I make that much. Guess what? I ain't comfortable.
You're uncomfortable.
Right?
Uncomfy.
I'm uncomfortable, right? Why? It's not that I didn't get what I obtained to, it's that I did.
Mm-hmm.
But my mindset wasn't right. What I obtained is not what I should be trying to obtain.
Right.
If I tap into my talent and who I am, this can't possibly be it.
Right.
It might be it for some people. And this conversation might go over their head. I don't know what minister talking about. Because you might be good in your space. You might be good in what you're doing, and you settled in, and you say, I'm going to retire when I'm 65, 70 years old.
I got my
Right?
pension.
And I got my pension, and I'm too tired to do anything with it.
I got my good insurance.
Right? I can get to sleep for the rest of my days until I'm dead. Right? But for some people, they got some other things they would like to do with the time they're on this earth. Some things that they believe they have to do. Certain things they believe they must do while they're on this earth. And for those people, this conversation might hold a lot of weight. But some people that might realize I'm bigger than what I'm bigger than my life is, right? I'm more valuable than my days, than the way I spend my days, right? You know, I get on some brothers' case all the time who I think is full of a lot of talent and they waste their time doing what they're doing during the day. Right.
You know, Yahweh Shai call them that slothful and
I wouldn't call it
unprofitable
slothful.
servant.
Nah, that's not a slothful servant. I gotta disagree. Because sometimes that man is working hard. It's not about working hard or not working hard.
Mhm.
Precept.
You could be busting your neck,
Mhm.
but you just not busting your neck where it's supposed to be, where it's profitable, where it's increasing you. You bust your neck and you're increasing somebody else.
Right.
That's what you're doing, right? That's what we all doing. We busting our hump, increasing somebody else, but bringing no increase to the nation even. All right.
I got a precept.
What's that?
Got Sirach 11 and 11. I believe this might be my favorite chapter out the entire Bible. This whole chapter.
I know. I think you pulled Sirach 11 a couple times.
I pulled the book of Sirach, period. Like
give me the book of Sirach. Chapter 11. All right, you're gonna be here for a while.
I tell you what, it was one time, you know, me and Kadash, that's my brother, we fasted until we read the whole book of Sirach. It took about 4 days, but no water, no food for about 4 or 5 days till we finished the whole book of Sirach.
Mm-hmm.
So I go to show you, this is one of my favorite books in the Bible.
Start from verse 4?
No, I said 11.
Oh, it's like 11.
Con.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 11. There is one that laboreth and taketh pains
Mm-hmm.
and maketh haste,
Mm-hmm.
and is so much the more behind.
Yep. You pull the very verse what I'm talking about. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
There's more on that.
Yeah, I know there's more than that, but I'm a little slow at my computer than the rest of y'all. But I'm getting there. If I had the book in front of me, I'd been there a long time ago. All right, there you go. Go ahead. Again. There's another. Go ahead.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 11. Go back up. 1 second. Okay, come. There is one that laboreth and taketh pains and maketh haste, and is so much the more behind. Again, there is another that is slow and hath need of help, wanting ability and full of poverty.
Mm.
Yet the eye of Yahweh looketh upon him for good, and set him up from his low estate.
Right. So this man don't have all them talents, but who did he look upon?
Most High.
He looked upon the Most High. And he didn't just look upon the Most High, but he looked upon him for what? For good. What's good? What's right? And the Most High blessed him to know what's good and right.
Mm-hmm.
So the other one was laboring and hustling and bustling, right? Doing much work, but what can't increase. So what? It's not so much of your energy expenditure. It's more about your focus and your accomplishment, your goal. If your goal is a great job or a good job, whatever you call it, then that's what you'll get. What was I say? Well, that's what you asked for, right?
Right. Be more specific.
Yeah. But, Solomon asked for wisdom. The Most High gave him wisdom. He parlayed that wisdom into riches. He didn't ask for riches, but he took that wisdom and made him rich,
Mm-hmm.
right? He took that wisdom and made him rich. Why? Because the Most High knew that a king, he's going to be a king. Can't be a broke king, right? What kind of kingdom would that be, right? Read. Prosperity. Oh, no. Verse 13.
Verse 13.
Mm-hmm.
And lifted up his head from misery,
Mm-hmm.
so that many that saw it marveled at him.
They were surprised. They said, him? He don't got all that talent. How he got all that? Right? Because the Most High, he looked to the Most High for good. He concentrated on what he was supposed to be doing. And ultimately what he looked for was, how could I be a better servant? How could I serve? How could I serve God's people? How
Right.
could I serve people really? Because when you really serve people, you're going to be well off. Right now, we serve industries. I serve an industry. Y'all serve industries, right?
Yeah.
We serve the industry's need. We don't necessarily serve the need of the people. The industry might serve the need of the people, but we don't own the industry, right? If we own the industry, we'd be in a different situation, right? Go ahead.
Prosperity and adversity, life and death, poverty and riches come of Yahweh.
That's so important right there.
Mm-hmm.
That's the crucial part of that whole breakdown. That's so important. Because once we get that understanding, then whether somebody is impoverished or they're rich, we know where it came from. Whether we're impoverished or rich, we know where it came from. We don't have to think it came from any other entity but our power, the Almighty Yahweh. Right? We gotta have that in our spirit if we're wise and we believe what we read.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because that's the key. Do you believe what you read? Because sometimes we want to read, you know, we can't get on the churches for reading part of the Bible. And we read the whole Bible, Genesis to Revelations. Yeah, we do.
We're not applying it.
But we do not apply.
Do you believe, or are you going through the motions?
But we don't
Right.
apply all the Bible. Right? Right? Even me and my Isha son, we get into some arguments because he said, everybody don't, we read the Bible, but do you actually read and act the Bible? A lot of things we fall short on. But some things are so crucial, we gotta, at some point, we can't be short forever. Right? At some point, we gotta say, okay, we got this part. We master, he said, we strive for mastery. He said, lest we strive what?
Lawfully.
Lawfully, right? So whilst we striving for mastery, lawfully, we going through the Bible, mastering what the scriptures say, not just knowing what it say.
Mm-hmm.
You can't master something unless you apply it. And then you not just apply it, but you got to apply it long enough that it becomes effortless. Right? I don't have to concentrate not to steal. Right? I don't have to concentrate not to commit adultery. I don't have to concentrate
Not to eat pork.
not to eat
Right.
swine's flesh.
Mhm.
I mastered those things. Those things I mastered. I looked into it. I don't want no part of it. I'm not drawn to it. I don't have no issue with
You're
that.
not tempted by it.
I'm not tempted by that. No, I'm good. Right? Got that. But there's some things here, like what we're learning right now, of being deployed in our creativeness and being a true servant unto the people, not just in word, but in deed. Right? We were talking earlier about generosity, right?
Mhm.
You can't be generous if you got nothing to give.
Right.
How could you be generous? Right? You got to have something, right? How do you get something? Well, you got to be deployed in your creativity and in your spirit. And the Most High puts you in that position to be what you need to be for the people that you need to be it for. You know what I mean? What kind of blessing would you be? You know, I'm
Right.
asking family that. What kind of blessing would you be if you had 10 million in your bank right now? What kind of blessing would you be?
It's a good question.
Right? Would you be a blessing just to yourself? Right? Would you be selfish? Would you be a niggard and swim back and forth like Scrooge McDuck? Who knows Scrooge McDuck? Who old enough to know who that is?
You don't know what it is?
You don't know who that is. That's before his time. Right? Are you going to swim in your money? Are you going to be like Richie Rich? Right? And buy a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need? Right?
I got if you drop down in the same chapter, verse 26, I think it's important that we get there too.
Verse 26?
Yeah, we gotta get verse 26.
Chapter 11,
Con
20. You said 46?
26.
26? Like you.
What book you in?
It is an easy
Got it.
thing unto the
Got it.
Lord the day of death. Okay.
The book of
No, Salak, I'm sorry, 25. Let me get 25.
Okay. The
Wait,
day of
Salak,
prosperity
I
bears.
don't know.
Forget from this.
That's wrong. Hold on. Salak. Y'all can keep talking. I just had
Okay.
What book you reading for?
you got me back. You got me. Oh, 20, yeah, 26.
I mean, 25 got something in it.
Oh.
26 is more talking about, you know, in your day of death that you got to go see the man. You got to go see the Most High. And you're going to get rewarded for the way you lived. But 25 got something in it. Could read that.
I don't know.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 11, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
For in the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction.
Right.
And in the day of affliction, there is no remembrance of prosperity.
The reason why I like that verse right there, because that's a distraction right there.
Mm-hmm.
You go hard when you down. Trust me, when you down and out, you got all the great ideas. You start thinking of businesses, what you could do. But as soon as you get a little something, right, you forget about that down and out time.
Forget about the people that was down and out with you.
Yeah, you forget about the people that was there. You forget about how you felt that day when you didn't have nothing, right? You start becoming covetous. You start coveting the things that you do have, right? Not willing to lose nothing. You become scared, right? Like in the hood, they say scared money don't make money, right?
Yeah, they do say that in the hood.
You know what I'm saying? Because
they got that straight out the scriptures.
Yep. Because then you get scary because you got a little prosperity. Because when you was in the time of your affliction, man, you was willing to risk it all because you'd have much. All wasn't much, right? But now you have a little something. You're not willing to risk anything because you forgot about affliction. So that's a good lesson right there, that verse 25, that we always remember the day of our affliction in a time of prosperity.
So like,
and even in the time of our
verse 21, I'm so sorry.
What's that, verse 21?
Yeah, verse 21 is what we need.
Marvel not the works of sinners and the trust of.
That's exactly what I want to write down.
From poor man rich. Okay.
Verse 21. Marvel not at the works of sinners, but trust in Yahweh and abide in thy labor. For it is an easy thing in the sight of Yahweh on the sudden to make a poor man rich.
Right. So he said what? Abide in your labor. That's the key thing in that set of verses right there. What does it mean to abide in your labor?
Be diligent.
Don't give in, man. Mm-hmm. Don't give up. Don't give in. Don't give up. Don't give in. Abide in your labor because it will eventually pay off, right? It will eventually pay off. If you're doing something that's that's on the road to prosperity, it's on the road to doing well, it's on the road to where the destination you're trying to be in the spirit of the Most High Mashiach Yahushai, abide on the road. Don't get distracted. Don't give up. Don't get bewildered, right? Because that end will come. The Most High could do it any day. So have that resilience because you got to go through. How the scripture say, there's a city on a broad field full of all good things. But the entrance to that city is what? In a dangerous place where there's deep water and fire, right? That's in Ezra 7, right? First Ezra 7. We got to always remember that's metaphorical to how you get the good city, the things full of good things, the place full of good things. You don't just get there free, willy-nilly, right? You got to go through something. You got to go through some doubt, some stress, some danger. But if you abide in your labor, you keep pressing forward to going through the straight way, staying on these commandments, keeping the Most High as the apple of your eye, you will obtain the thing that you need to obtain. You will obtain the service that you need to serve your people. Right? You'll be Most High can use you in a great way, right? To do great things for the greatest people on the earth, which is the Hebrew Israelites. Right? So we get into that hour. What verse you pulled up here? 1 Corinthians 15, 58, 57? All right.
Good. The book of 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 57. But thanks be to Yahweh, which giveth us the victory through our other one Yahweh Shai.
That's it. Read on. Therefore,
my beloved brethren, be steadfast.
Right. Don't be shaken. Right.
Unmovable.
Don't nobody push you out of the way. Go ahead.
Always abounding in the work of Yahweh.
Always making more and more work done. Get more work done. If you feel like you're doing too much, that means you're not doing enough. That's why you feel like you're doing too much, because you're really not doing enough. Because if you were doing enough, right? If you were doing enough, you would never feel like you're doing too much. If you feel like you're doing too much, that means you have set bridles and barriers on yourself that the Most High never set. You set boundaries on your ability that the Most High didn't set. That's why you feel like you're doing too much. So keep going, keep abiding, keep strengthening. Finish that verse. We're gonna finish on that. That's a heavy 2 verses right there.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of Yahweh, for as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in Yahweh.
Right. Your labor is never in vain. It's never fruitless. Even though you don't see the fruit now, the fruit's coming. All right. We got to plant trees, man. Plant seeds that grow trees.
You know, I just wanted to say too, you know, a lot of the nations, that's how they think already. They don't think about just now, they think about way 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line.
He still got contingency plans for 2065. He got stuff he's rolling out that's going to be open in 2065. Come on, man. We can't barely think down the street around the corner. We got to stop that mentality, man. You know what I mean? If you ain't got a 5-year plan, you don't got a plan.
I was talking to the brother Ariah. He was saying something about Esau. They be having 10 and 20-year leases.
Yeah, that's right. Because they got a plan for 10, 20 years ahead. Right? They have what they call their projection. They project how much they're going to be making 10 years from now and how much space they're going to need and how this place is going to grow. As you might see a building and it's on a big set of land, but the building's kind of small. Their projection is in 20 years, this whole place is going to be big.
Right.
And a lot of the times, if they keep the plan that they had going in place, it will be. It's not that they're not doing something that's impossible. They just have tapped into something that we haven't tapped into, right? But we need to tap into it, right? We don't have a plan that goes beyond a year. Something wrong. Because, like I said, you plant seeds that grow trees. Trees don't grow in a year. How long it take to get fruit from a tree? You plant a mango seed. How long till you get a mango?
About a year.
Yeah.
3 years?
How many years?
Oh.
I want to say 5 years. I want to say 5 years before you get a mango. So people who plant that mango seed, they want to watch that mango tree grow. 5 years later, they're going to actually get a mango. That's why we plant seeds that grow trees. Because once you plant that mango seed, guess how much mangoes you get? More than you ever be able to eat. More than you or your neighbor or your neighbor's neighbor. Yeah. How much years?
About 4 years.
Well, 4 years. I don't know. We always say 5 years, but 4 years. Right? It says what? Mango trees require a bit of attention, and the average take 10 years. It says 10 years here.
I might be wrong, but
5 to 8 years. I think it was 5 years. That's a good average, right? 5 years for that mangoes to yield you a harvest. But once that mango start to yield you a harvest, every year for the rest of your life, it'll give you more mangoes than you could ever eat. Right. Think about that concept. Mm-hmm. If you do something that takes about 5 years to build, it could possibly yield you a return that you could have more than you will ever need for the rest of your life, and you could feed your neighbors and friends and the loved ones with that fruit.
Right.
That's why the Most High always referring to fruit, right? And guess what? Each one of those mangoes got what inside of it?
A seed.
A seed that you could plant to grow you another tree in 5 years. That's how you gotta. That's the process of the Most High.
All right. Some people might get discouraged. They be like, I gotta wait all the way for 5 years to get it. I'm just gonna go to Publix real quick.
Or they gonna say, I ain't planting no mango tree. When I want a mango, I'm gonna go to Publix and get a mango. I'm not planting no tree. I don't got time for that. 5 years later, I ain't planting no tree. Yeah. I ain't got time for that. I'm just going to Walmart and buy a mango. For the last 10 years, you've been buying mangoes, but you could have had a mango tree and never had to buy a mango again.
Yeah.
and gave mango to all your friends and your families,
Right.
and been a blessing for many people come mango season, right? We're using the metaphor of mangoes, but that's with anything, right? That's with anything. It might start out with a van and driving a route, but later on, if you had the right plan, man, there's gonna be a time where you got 50 vans riding out, right? And you sitting back, and it's gonna feed many families, right? Because many people are taking care of their household out of what you created. So it's just a thought pattern for the family. A little different topic tonight on the Bring It Out Radio Show. I do believe we're coming to that hour and that time to wrap it in.
We might need a part 2 on that.
With the water for everyone
No,
that's
we
been
should
on
get
the
some
check-in
statistics on stuff.
and been commenting. Appreciate you all. It's been an interesting conversation here with the Kings in the Kings Corner, right? Here on the Bring It Out Radio Show. Closing thoughts? Well, I just say just strive and continue striving, family. And hopefully you pick up something from this class that you can use in your life. Go ahead and use it, because we only got one. You got one chance in this life to make things happen. So why not today? Right?
Real quick, I did want to recommend a book to the people. It's called Black Fortunes. It's by Shamari Wills. It's a very encouraging book. It talks about how people came right out of slavery into Reconstruction, and a lot of people was able to, when we was being actually physically lynched and physically in bondage, they was able to become the first millionaires in their industries as Black and Hispanic people. So
that's right.
Just wanted to recommend that book to the people.
Hey, Captain, I'm on.
I want to say tune in next week, Tuesday. We're going to have a part 2. We're going to have the statistics, the videos, and you're going to get the whole breakdown from Chief Minister Shalimar.
Oh, okay.
God.
You see, he's thinking ahead. Right? He's planting seeds for next week, right? Engineer extraordinaire. We never pulled up the anchor man, but I guess he'll come on next week. Salakia to the anchor man. We got caught up in our conversation.
Is he waiting in the cut? He's still in the cut.
All right. He fell off. Okay. All right. Anchor man with the master. Engineer extraordinaire.
It's something that you were mentioning earlier.
What's that?
Just made me think about the value. Like we can do, seemingly to us, we can do regular things, but it's a talent that we've cultivated, that we've developed over the years.
That's right.
And a lot of these other nations, they're seeing that talent and they're profiting off of it.
That's right.
We look at it as normal. We don't necessarily value it. And one of the things that we can start doing, possibly a solution, start to value our talents and also ask for the price that we want based on that talent.
That's it, man. We gotta value ourselves in that price. Make an offer. I like to use the word offer. I like to use the word ask, because that's like I'm asking my mother, right? We offer our talents at a premium rate, right? Because we deserve it, and the people around us, our families deserve it, right? I mean, deserve it around. Isha, you in the building? Any comment on what we got going on here? Okay. All right. Thumbs up. We got a thumbs up from Isha, right? So, family, we thank you for logging in with us and being and spending this time with us. I know it's after the 10 o'clock hours, up to 10:30. So we rocked out a little late. Maybe next week we'll be back on time. We'll be back from 8 to 10 is our normal time period. So we'll be back on that 8 to 10 schedule next week. And we'll have a Power Package show. Going to go into, like the captain said, a little bit more finance. Maybe we'll go into a little bit more details, a little bit more we'll do a little bit more mathematics for you and show you how this thing gets down. Until then, be blessed. And to the nation of Yasharala, Shalom. All praise to Yahweh. Shalom.